The summer's pretty hot, so why don't we chill out with some great anime? Do you need some kingdom building, or some psychological thriller, or even some nail-biting horror? Heck, we've even got vampires coming in this season. So buckle up your seatbelts because today we're going over 10 of the best summer anime that you can watch this year. Here we go. Number 10. How a realist hero rebuilt a kingdom. Normally, every isekai that is released nowadays has either a hero who wants to defeat the demon lord, or a hero who does nothing and simply slacks off for the comedic factor. But this isekai is a bit different. Instead of going through the regular Japanese RPG route, the light novel author takes an approach similar to the Civilization game series. You've got a kingdom, you improve it. Simple as that. Compared to many other isekai anime, this one focuses heavily on world building and politics. Instead of epic battles and visual slugfests, you get a story about a guy who gets transported to another world and tries to become a better ruler. So if you need that isekai combination of record of Grand Crest War, then this is the anime you should watch. Number 9. Sunny Boy. This looks like a gangster drama inspired by the Godfather series, but this has more psychological elements to it rather than guns and violence. Most anime these days focuses on action and story, so having some good psychological anime will always help change the pace. The story follows a group of students who travel to an alternate dimension where the rules of the world are much different from ours, and you cannot put too much faith in the rule system either, because both the world and rules are constantly changing. So far from the episodes that have been released, I can feel like this is a psychological anime heading in the right direction. So if you're into that psychological Evangelion anime, then this is the anime for you. Number 8. Next Life as a Villainess, Season 2. The evil girl is back again to spread some more evil, but perhaps that's not the case. As we all know, Katrina is trying her best to step away from the evil route, so I'm looking forward to seeing who the new villain of the series is going to be. For anyone who doesn't know the story, it's about Katrina Claes, who gets born into a game world, but instead of the hero, she becomes the villain. Now it's up to her to take action to stop her from becoming the final villain, and also become friends with the hero of the story. It's a rather light-hearted comedy series, so if you enjoyed the first season, you're definitely gonna love the new season as well. Those going back in time stories never seem to get old, do they? This time, we have a man getting to repeat back his school years and change his life for the better. Hashiba Kyoya is a game developer who wakes up in a body that is 10 years younger. He soon realizes that he needs to repeat his teenage years again. Now he's presented with the same choice every time traveler gets to make. Follow the same choices as before and continue the same life, or do things differently and perhaps get more girls and riches. Hashiba, being a wise man, chooses the second option, and the anime revolves around how this young man remakes his life. Number 6. Tantei wa mou shindeiru. This was on everyone's watch list because it was hyped up to be one of the best detective anime ever produced. But was it worth all the hype? Yes and no. It feels like the first season of Attack on Titan, where the show tries to highlight its main genre, but doesn't care too much about the characters. Now, this anime has a shockingly hooking premise, and some really good stories, but the characters don't always help to carry the story forward. There are even times where the characters felt too generic and boring, but the anime changes its formula and directs the story in a different angle while giving the characters more development. This can very much be one of the best detective anime ever made. Number 5. Kanojo mo Kanojo. Domestic girlfriend, rent a girlfriend. The harem trend seems to continue through every season, doesn't it? And this season, one that graces every harem fan's eyes is Kanojo mo Kanojo. At this point, I'm sure the writers aren't even thinking about the realism in the premise, as long as it turns out to be something original. So we've got one character who already has a girlfriend. But to make things worse, when he's asked out by another girl, he decides to date both of them at once. How does his original girlfriend react to this? Well, she thinks the new girl is cute and allows our main character to double date both of them. Once again, if you go in and watch Kanojo more Kanojo expecting a deep story, you ain't gonna get that. But in terms of overall enjoyment, this one is definitely going to give you a good harem, plus some good quality laughs. Number 4. The Case Study of Vanitas. Do you love vampires? No, not those lame Twilight vampires, but the more dangerous kind. Okay, perhaps Vanitas turns into a more romantic vampire when he meets Jean, but overall, he's that Dazai-looking vampire who's both badass and charming. But the Case Study of Vanitas is not only about Vanitas, and slowly creates a bigger mystery that involves a mysterious vampire and a growing disease. The anime's also got some great visuals and action, and the cast of characters feel original enough to invest you in the story. So if you need some good vampire action, this one is for you. Number 3. Kobayashi Dragon Maid S. In anime, the dragons turn into cute anime girls. This is what happens to Kobayashi, who is greeted by a large dragon who transforms into a cute girl. She claims she arrived from outer space and has no place to live. And since no person with sanity would ever let a dragon be their roommate, Kobayashi decides to let the girl live with him. And along comes the daily lives of Kobayashi and her dragon maid. The first season gave every anime fan a kawaii wild ride. And even though the second season opens with some heavy battles, there are cute slice of life moments in every episode that every anime fan loves. Number 2. Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2, Part 2. Slime Isekai seems to follow us for another season because the second part of the second season ups the stakes and delivers us an adventure that is even more refined than before. There are more new character faces, the magic system of the world is gradually explained, and the lore and character backstories are expanded to make the world feel more realistic. For those who don't know about the story, it's about Satoru Mikami, an average salaryman who is reincarnated in another world as a slime named Rimuru Tempest. He is bestowed divine protection by the dragon, and he soon heads off to his own adventure. Right now, he's overpowered enough to conquer the whole world, but let's see what sort of challenges he faces on our new adventure. Number 1. Higurashi Tsutsu. If you are a new anime fan who is catching up with the latest isekai, then Higurashi might be a new name to you. But if you're one of the golden oldies, then everyone remembers that spine-chilling horror anime that made you creep under your bed, afraid of nail-pulling yanderes. The new Higurashi storyline that started with Higurashi Go expanded the series and even included a new villain, while hinting at an even larger multiverse tied to the visual novel Umineko. Higurashi Tsutsu is the direct continuation of Go and will finally resolve the mysteries the previous season built, and will even hint at a new Umineko anime adaptation if we're lucky. So if you're tired of the usual genres and want some nail-biting horror, then here's summer's best anime ready